Hello, Ray Phoenix here, and welcome to Let's Play Mega Man Powered Up Part 1. This is the first Mega Man game that I truly owned and truly played through in its entirety. And actually got to, fully experience in its full glory.
The year 2000X. With the advancement of science, humans were able to create industrial humanoid robots. A helper robot by the name of Mega lived peacefully in the labs of the foremost authority in robotics, Dr. Light. But then, one day...
I've been looking all over for you, Mega. We've got a big problem.
Ladies and gentlemen, your attention, please. The name's Wily, the one and only, the brilliant scientist, Dr. Wily. It may seem rather sudden to you, but I've decided I'd like to take over the world. Anyway, to begin, Dr. Light, I'll be taking your precious robots. That is to say, what's this? Helper robot? They're just a pile of scrap metal with no special abilities.
Our friends are in trouble, Mega. Let's hurry to the lab.
This is where the game actually begins. This is where we can actually control this robot named Mega, this helper robot that was built by Dr. Light to just simply help it, everything around, help around the house or help do chores and stuff like that probably. This game pretty much has the exact same story as the original Mega Man from 1987. It's a remake of the original Mega Man from 1987. This part is kind of redundant.
Just as I promised, Dr. Light, I'll be taking them with me.
Stop, Dr. Wily. Stop, I say.
Farewell!
Wait! Stop! Dr. Wily! What insanity! Using my robots to conquer the world!
Professor, please, change me into a fighting robot.
Mega? What are you saying, my child?
Please, I really want to help everyone, but I don't know if I'm strong enough yet.
Mega.
All right. I understand. I don't like it, but sometimes such things must be done. I must make the necessary preparations. Roll, could you please assist me? I've adapted your arm cannon so you can acquire your opponent's abilities. They will then become your own, and you will be free to use them.
Well, Professor, here I go.
Listen, Mega. No, rather, Mega Man. Yes, that's it. From this moment on, you shall be Mega Man.
Let's go!
So now we're finally playing as the main character. Well, he is the main character of the game, but now we're actually playing as actual Mega Man now, where he has the arm cannon. He can blast down our enemies and destroy them. As we're doing right now, he can actually destroy enemies now this time around. This is where the game truly begins, is what it is. This game pretty much has the exact same story as the original Mega Man from 1987. Only one of the major differences was he was called Rock before he was built into Mega Man in the original game, like rock and roll. Now that pun is kind of destroyed Mega and roll. This game is pretty much the original Mega Man from and if it was made in 2006, and if it was on the PSP. This is the first game I ever played on the PSP. This is one of the most nostalgic games I've ever played before. No, seriously, this game is highly nostalgic to me for a lot of reasons.
You follow me? I don't have time to fool around with the likes of you! You can play with this!
And this is obviously an intro stage, just like the intro stages we've seen in all the Mega Man X games. Well, Mega Man X first introduced to us the intro stages. And this one has them too. Most classic Mega Man games made after Mega Man X have intro stages. So yeah, this is not the first Mega Man game I ever played, as I mentioned earlier, but it's the first time I actually truly got into Mega Man. I learned about Mega Man, who Mega Man is, and what he does and stuff like that from playing this game. This This game is highly nostalgic to me. This is a game that reunited me with my father years after so many years of being separated. He finally came back and I got to see him again, and he gave me a PSP, and this is one of the games that I got to play. I was mesmerized by it. I was like, whoa, this is incredible, and I loved playing Mega Man Powered Up. I love the music in this game. I love the memories I have associated with this game. Just about everything about this game is awesome.
Look! Everyone's going haywire and turning violent!
Please, my robots, your friends, you must stop them. For the sake of the world and all of humanity, I'm counting on you.
It's mostly all the same robot masters that we dealt with in the first Mega Man. That we dealt with in the first Mega Man from 1987. But this time around, they've added 2 new Robot Masters. I think they did that so they could be an even 8 Robot Masters, just like in Mega Man 2 and onwards. So now we're going after the first Robot Master. We're going after Oil Man, one of the weakest, dumbest Robot Masters in the entire game. He's a good candidate to go after first. Just like the classic Mega Man games, there are weaknesses in this game where you can acquire their weapon and you can use the weapon against them. But if you destroy all of them using a standard Mega Buster, or destroy a Robot Master using a standard Mega Buster, you can unlock that Robot Master. You could actually play as the different Robot Masters in this game. I thought that was really impressive they did that in this game. There was a lot to do in this game. There's so many challenges, so much stuff. This game could keep you busy for months. I've been playing this game for years, and I'm not even anywhere close to getting it through it completely. That's how good of a game this is. This game deserved to have tons of sequels. Mega Man Powered Up should have been like a game, like a franchise of its own, filled with so many sequels and so many other games and spin-offs maybe and things like that. But no, this is just a standalone Mega Man game. It's just one game alone. It's highly based off the original Mega Man. It's based off the classic series, but it's technically not a classic series Mega Man game because, well, it's a different continuity. It's not the same continuity as the classic series. They introduced some other things too, like these enemies are fighting right now. I don't think we first saw this until like Mega Man 4 or something like that. And there's those fire things we saw in Mega Man 6. I remember those infamous levels in Mega Man 6. I can imagine Mega Man 6 if it was like this, if the series were to continue on or have like so many games, just like the NES games that had it became kind of routine after a while, so they kept pumping out Mega Man sequels. I love the music in this game. This game has an awesome soundtrack. It probably is like in the top 3 best video game soundtracks ever. It's definitely up there with games like Mega Man or this Mega Man game is up there with games like Ape Escape and Jumping Flash and even Spyro and games like that in terms of like having the best soundtracks ever. And yet no one ever talks about how awesome the music is in this game. This is probably one of the best video game remakes ever made, and yet people seem to say it's not as good as like the original. I don't know, maybe if people are nostalgia blind. Maybe I'm nostalgia blind because this game, I played this game long before I played the original Mega Man or the original NES Mega Man games. So maybe I'm the one that's nostalgia blind here. I don't know. But giving it like an objective, I try to be as objective as possible in evaluating these games. And I find that yes, this game is better than the NES games. Sure, it's easier, but it has a lot more going for it. It has really good music. The music is always like completely awesome. I like to hear like the orchestras, like the London Symphony Orchestra or whatever it is, play some of these songs. It's just really that good. And I actually think the 2 Robot Masters they added to this game, Oil Man and Time Man, they actually are really good Robot Masters themselves. They seem like obvious choices that could have been in some of the very early Mega Man games, especially Mega Man 1. I bet if they knew how the sequels would go of having 8 Robot Masters per game, I bet they would have put 8 Robot Masters in original Mega Man, but they just didn't know that. I bet if they did make the original Mega Man knowing how the series would turn out in the long run, it would have been very different. They would have changed stuff. Like, there was no buoyancy in the water in the first game, and this game does that too, in like homage. This game does pay homage to the original Mega Man in a lot of ways. There's no buoyancy in the water in this game. There's no... What else is there? Well, at first, Mega Man can't slide, nor does he have a charge shot at all. Well, but then again, they're trying to make it just like it was in the very original Mega Man, where you can't slide. Sliding is redundant a lot of the time in this game, unless you have to get to like a special secret area. So you can find these like collectible cards in the game that unlock construction packs, things you can use to build. Because you can build your own level in this game. Yeah, this is like the original Mario Maker in a lot of ways. Before Mario Maker, there was Mega Man Powered Up, where people can make their own levels and they can send them to people all over the world using that overrated PSP's ability to go on the internet. The PSP was never that great at going on the internet. It actually kind of sucked, actually. They advertised it as being like an internet tool, like something you could go on the internet with, but it really wasn't that great. Smartphones nowadays are way better for that. Smartphones kind of took over portable systems in a lot of ways, too.
Hey, what'd you come out here for? Don't you got a place near your house for fill-ups?
Oil Man, let's go home.
You for real? Even if that just slipped out, we are still gonna do this. Yeah! It's showtime!
So now we're going after Oil Man, the first Robot Master they chose to go after in this game. It's just gonna throw oil at us, and why would oil hurt Mega Man? I know, don't robots like oil anyways? Because, you know, this doesn't oil, like, you know, lubricate their joints and things like that so they could work better. So you think in theory throwing oil at Mega Man would actually damage him or actually do stuff against him, but no, it doesn't. It actually, you know, damages him. I don't know, is it like a different kind of oil? Is it like toxic oil maybe? Is it like corrosive acid oil or something like that? It's like the oil they use in fish fryers at restaurants. Like when I have to take out the oil of the fryer, the fish and chip fryer at the fish and chips place I work at. Is that what it's kind of like? Maybe it's something like that. Maybe it's hot as well too. And I mean, sure, Mega Man's clearly is vulnerable. He gets killed by so many things, and his weakness is still spikes in this game, like how it's been in pretty much every Mega Man game ever. The spikes are his weakness. And Oil Man, yeah, he could put a bit of a fight there, but he always goes down like a pansy, which is what I just did to him. Gonna give us our scores. They also brought back score balls in this game and just a score in general, just like the original Mega Man. The original Mega Man is the only classic Mega Man game that had a scoring system and score balls. So they kind of brought that back to pay homage to original Mega Man. And we got the oil slider, where we could slide on oil. Well, it actually tells us in this game that we unlock a new weapon. From the unlike what the original Mega Man did in 1987, where it didn't even tell you that. A lot of people didn't even know a Mega Man could pick up other robots' weapons and use them. So next we're going after the one I like to go after first in the very original Mega Man, Cut Man, an iconic robot master, Cut Man. The people who made the Mega Man, the Ruby Spears, and Mega Man animated series knew Cut Man was the best robot master ever. That's why they put him in every single episode, along with Guts Man. You know Guts Man is, because you know Dr. Wily has a fetish for Guts Man, right? The music in this level is like god tier awesome. It's like so big, like this is like S-rank music. It's like one of the best remixes ever. It sounds so different from the original. I can't even tell it is the original music, but it is. And it sounds awesome. It's even better than the remix from Mega Man 8, because Mega Man 8, the Saturn version, had a remix of Cut Man's theme. Because there actually is a part in the Sega Saturn version of Mega Man 8 where you have to fight against Cut Man, which I'll be doing that eventually, but for now, this is what I have. And I'm playing this on a keyboard again, too. But this game is relatively easy, and the controls are pretty simple overall. So yeah, it's easy enough to play this game on a keyboard. It's really hard to play PSP games nowadays on the actual PSP itself due to the fact that those lasers that read those discs, the UMD discs, because PSP games like on these weird portable, these weird mini discs, they're almost like GameCube discs, but they were encased in like a plastic casing, and you play there. You know the problem with disc-based systems. The reason why disc-based things are dying these days, there aren't very many of them anymore, because you know they break down, and now they realize, well, why invest in physical formats when we could have, you know, everything digital these days, hence the digital age, which is why everything is so digital nowadays. It's hard to play PSP games nowadays on actual PSP. I still have one of my old PSPs from way back when. But the problem is the battery ruptured, and I don't even know if I can still buy reliable batteries, because Sony doesn't make those batteries anymore, so I don't know if I could find good, reliable batteries for the PSP anywhere that specific model I have. So the only way I can really play this now is on emulation, which is fine. But I could also play this game on my Raspberry Pi 400, and by doing that, I could connect it to the TV. That was like I'm playing the game on an actual game system. I use a PS1 controller, an actual PS1 controller play. So it feels like I'm playing the game on an actual home console, which is something I always wanted as a kid. As much as I like the PSP, the problem with it is it's small, and the screen is small, and a lot of the games, all the exclusive games like this game, these are really awesome games, and I wish there was a way I could play them on a TV. More than a decade and a half later, I finally got my wish, so now I can play these games on a TV as if they were home console games. So yeah, I guess it's really good. The Raspberry Pi 400, it's the world's greatest gaming system ever, world's greatest emulation machine ever. Well, probably not the greatest, because it doesn't emulate PS2, GameCube, or Xbox yet, but eventually there probably will be ones that can emulate the more powerful systems. But it can emulate PSP really fine, to which I'm very impressed at. PSP is the most impressive system the Raspberry Pi 400 can successfully emulate. The majority of games for the PSP work perfectly fine on the Raspberry Pi 400. And so now we're going to go after Cut-Man, but he's guarded by a Mega Eye, never one of those Mega Eye things. And unlike in the first game, we actually have to hit the eye itself. The eye is the only weak part of these robots. It's not like in the first game we just shoot them anywhere and destroy them. We actually have to shoot them in the eye, that's because they're only weak spot. I don't know if they have a weakness or not, but what would it matter? We only have one weapon anyways, the oil slider, which is a very useless weapon. There's no point. We pretty much have no real weapons at this point in the game. We're about to get a real weapon after we go and kill Cut-Man.
Warning!
Brother? I can't believe it! Dr. Wily was right. You've changed into a bad robot. Cutman, what's going on?
You're an evil fighting robot now. I'm gonna stop you, Mr. Mega Man, and make you good again.
So they're gonna be Cutman. Cutman thinks he's some big shot, hot shot robot that can jump around and be like so cocky and cut everything up and think he thinks he could win at everything. But in reality, he's a wuss in this game. He's probably a bigger wuss in this game than he was in the very original Mega Man. You could murder him easy just by shooting the Mega Buster at him several times. He does have a weakness, but it's Gutsman's weapon, and we actually could use it on him if we had his weapon, that is, because there's those 2 blocks here which can only be picked up with Gutsman's weapon. Oh look, he's going overcharge mode pretty much, where we can't shoot him. It's like overdrive or overcharge or something like that. Where he pretty much goes into like Super Saiyan mode, where he thinks he's like some magical god that's just gonna kill us easy. He's just making an even bigger fool of himself, and we destroyed him. So Cutman, he's still pretty weak as hell. Cutman, Kung Fu Cutman, yeah, he's so Kung Fu Cutman I don't know, I can't make a good joke right now, but we defeated Cutman nonetheless, and we got his weapon now. It's 2 of the 8 weapons in this game that we have now, and thankfully there's no magnet beam in this game either, unlike in the original Mega Man. So that's another major plus about this game. There's no like misleading or misguidance in this game or any of that stuff, so I guess that's another really good quality of this game. So now we defeated the first 2 Robot Masters. This is Ray Phoenix signing out.